Good evening. Good evening, everybody. We're going to get started. President Gollin's running a little bit late from the village board meeting. They moved their meeting to tonight, so I'm going to get things started, and Kelly's going to help me through that if necessary. Call the meeting to order and stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so again, welcome to everybody to our April 9th regular board meeting. I think everybody's got the agenda in front of them, either on the computer or in print. For some folks having some technical difficulties, we'll get that figured out. So we've got some routine items to approve. You can see on the agenda, need to accept and order file the minutes of the Committee on Special Education meetings under number 2 there. Number 1, the minutes of the regular meeting of March 12th, 2024. And then number 3 on the agenda, accept and order file the minutes of the Committee on Preschool Special Education meetings for those dates. Looking for a motion. And a second?
Second.
Thanks, Crystal. Any discussion? All those in favor? Anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining? Passes. What are we? We're 7.
Seven right now.
Thank you. Any public comments? Seeing none, we'll keep on moving on. Straight into committees. We'll start with personnel. Mr. Knedy.
Okay.
Did I miss something? Okay.
Pretty routine this month with ESY being fully staffed at this point. We have a school psychologist, Hannah Mosier. She's going to be in a 1-year appointment until she completes her coursework. And congratulations to the 15 individuals up for tenure. Are you going to read those names?
I'm working to get that list up on my computer.
Okay.
Want to read them?
If you don't mind, Kelly, I'm having a little trouble with my eyesight right now.
That's all right. I got you. So Danielle Kuba for special education, Ashley Letourneau, physical education and health, Sarah Dudley, teaching assistant, Sarah Kuya, teaching assistant, Heather Craner, library media specialist, Kara Coe, special education, Jennifer Rich, art, Francine Quintel, elementary, Heather Sulkey, elementary, Christine Lostrup, reading, Taylor Lewis, special education in the elementary, Sarah Beth Mason, teaching assistant, Andrew Snyder for music, Emily Delivero for speech, and Carrie Amend for speech.
Yeah, just one thing in that list. Ms. Letourneau is for health only. She's certified in PE and health, but her tenure is being granted in health. Thank you for reading the list for me.
Yep.
And that's it. Anybody have questions?
Questions for Vince on anything in personnel? Appreciate it. Personnel done by consent, so hearing no dissent, those all pass. Thank you.
And then we have Jeff for that.
Yeah, then we have a single motion, and this is one that you, as board members, probably have not seen before. The teacher's contract does have a provision in there for sabbatical leave. Did receive a very nice packet from one of our teachers looking to do a sabbatical that will directly impact his ability to provide better education to our students and also provide some resources to other teachers. This is a science teacher, and I am recommending to you that you grant the sabbatical leave for Jeff Delisle. He's looking to go next year for basically the month of September. Do you have anything, Mike, that you wanted to add about that before they vote? Any other information?
It looks exciting both for him and for our district.
Great. So again, a relatively short sabbatical. I am recommending that you folks approve it, so I'm looking for a motion to approve, or I'll answer any questions before that if you'd like. No, motion to approve?
So moved.
Mike, thanks. A second? Any discussion on that or any further questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining? 7-0. Moving on to athletics. Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yeah. So not a lot going on right now. Spring sports have started. Modified spring sports started today. That was pushed back a day due to the eclipse. Varsity Awards Night is looking to be scheduled June 13th, which is the last day of classes. They are working with the Booster Club to possibly combine that with the Senior Awards Night. And they're also looking at possibly holding the signing day for any students looking to continue athletics at the collegiate level. May 9th, there's going to be an assembly game. This is the second year we've done this, and what happens is the students during fourth block will go down to the gymnasium to support our unified basketball team. They're playing Luzerne this year, so hopefully that'll be a great turnout and event. And we are expanding unified sports by offering bocce ball in the fall.
That unified game is by far my best day here in 5 years. Yeah, it's awesome.
Mr. Carpenter said last year it went extremely well.
Yeah, it was a fantastic opportunity to watch all of our student body cheer on that group of student athletes on the floor. If you want to come out and see something that's really special, happy to have any of you come out and see it. St. Mary's, did you want to speak to that, or I'm not trying to?
Oh, honestly, I forgot all about that one.
So I believe it's still pending approval, but we are looking to merge with St. Mary's School to offer modified sports to their students as part of our program. I haven't heard any update on that, Dan. Have you heard anything new?
Yep, so St. Mary's applied to be a full member of Section 2, which is the athletic council that governs the Albany area, including Hudson Falls. You're exactly right. They go up through 8th grade over there. They're looking for opportunities for their student athletes to participate in modified sports. Ryan fully supports it. Just wanted the board to be aware of that. So you'll see some merger applications that include St. Mary's in the future.
And there are a handful of Hudson Falls residents that attend that school. So eventually they would come back to our school after the 8th grade year.
Right.
Did they apply to any other school?
They did not,
Oh, that's good.
which was interesting because
Yeah.
they lie within the boundaries
Right.
of another school district. So,
That's why I was curious.
yeah.
Well, that's-
That signing day is for anyone going on for college athletics, right? Not just D1?
Correct. And I believe
Okay.
they have to show some form of a letter from the coach stating that that is the purpose of them attending that school for that sport.
Okay.
The Division I, there's specific dates that are set by them
Mhm.
that fall throughout the year, so this will be a catch-all. We had nobody that was, had a contract and an offer from a Division I school until after those deadlines had passed. We do have one, and that would be included in this
Okay.
ceremony for sure. Any other questions for Mr. Fitzgerald on athletics? Nothing there. Moving on to audits. Mrs. Grimaldi.
Okie dokie. Okay, so we will start with the treasurer's report for the month of February. In the general fund, we had 4.2 million in receipts, mostly aids and such that came through from the state, and 4.4 million in disbursements, leaving us a balance in the general fund of $4.7 million and a total cash on hand of $8.1 million. The extracurricular account report is in there, and it's just incredible the amount of things that are going on right now, as you can see from the transactions in and out. A lot of good fundraisers going on. There's, Corlier trip activity, really successful cookie fundraisers, a lot of stuff for the Sound of Music and the Drama Club. At the middle school level, there was quite a bit of activity in there as well with dances and teen nights and things of that nature. So just a lot of great activity that kind of is a testament to all the things that our kids get involved in and how active they are and all the different opportunities they have. The monthly bills are also in there. Did anyone have any questions on any of those? No? Okay. There's a budget transfer that's just for informational purposes. It's all within the limit, so we don't need a resolution on that. And just a little, I guess, update on budget. That's kind of the big thing. There is still not a state budget yet. It's looking like there may be next Monday, hopefully. Next Monday or Tuesday, beginning of next week. So I think at this point, the audit committee is recommending that we hold off on, creating or approving a budget to bring to our voters. And hopefully next week, maybe we can get together at a special meeting so that we have more information to really make a good decision on what that should look like. So I guess scheduling wise.
Yeah, we need to talk about next Tuesday. And I would just add that whether we have a state budget by next Tuesday or not, this board is going to have to approve a budget with the best information that we have. But like Crystal said, waiting that extra week gives us the opportunity to possibly have some better information.
My tardiness?
We're good. So we're really looking at next Tuesday in the evening. I know it's one more meeting. It's unfortunately beyond our control. I don't know if I just want to see if we have consensus that we'll have enough folks to have a quorum, and it'd be nice if we had as many as possible, if not all board members, able to be here for that. Any?
I use a paper calendar, so I have no idea, but I'm assuming I have nothing going on, so.
I'm available.
If we do want to do regular time, or do you want to do earlier, or what works? What is a 6:30 time?
Regular is good for me.
Yeah,
I can go
that's
maybe a touch earlier. I can't go much earlier.
That's 6:30.
6:30 is good for me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So we will, we'll get that posted for the public, and we'll even send out an invite to everybody so that we have it in our, you won't get it in your paper calendar, I don't think. If you get it in your paper calendar, let me know how that works.
Yeah. I can drive over.
Any other about the budget?
Yeah, the only other thing I guess on the budget is there was quite a bit of, concern over the governor's proposal to really make some big changes to foundation aid that would have impact on lots of school district budgets. Ours included at maybe a lesser impact, but still is a big deal. That has been, at this point, it's looking like that's not gonna happen, in the way that she was proposing it. So may see some sort of changes, or maybe just looking at a process to review foundation aid, for potential changes next year. So, that was kind of the only big takeaway I've really heard, I guess, so far.
We do have a couple resolutions.
Yes.
That they have to pass, and I'll kick it back over to you when you're ready. So first, looking for a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Mike, getting ahead of me. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed, anybody abstaining? So we're gonna go 8-0 on that. You got Jeff checked in at his time.
I do.
And then,
That's
need
what
to,
I have to do as a roll call, just so you know.
oh, okay, yeah. Yep, so I'll turn the next one over to Kelly, because there has to be a roll call vote on the serial bond and resolution for the legal ad. So need a motion. Do you want to let Kevin, do you want to speak to it, Kevin?
What's up?
The serial bond resolution?
Okay, so there's gonna be a couple different things here. There's gonna be a seeker resolution and a legal notice, for the bond. The bond is for the capital project. It's in the amount of 54,110,000, and with 250,000 of that being from the capital reserve fund, so we'll actually be bonding 53,860,000. So basically what we need to do with this is we need your approval, to put a legal ad out so that we can, move forward with borrowing when the time comes to borrow the money for the capital project in like 3 years. So, or 2 years, so.
This is a super little nitpicky thing, but just so nothing ever comes back on us or whatever, it just says the meeting was called to order by Jeff, which it was not. I don't know if that needs to be changed
Yeah,
or
we'll-
just
we'll
a
change
silly
it.
little thing.
In the minutes, it'll be changed.
Yep, okay.
And the other item that Kelly will be reading a roll call on is on seeker. Seeker, for anybody that doesn't know, is an environmental review. We have to do those for all projects. So these are the environmental reviews. They're done between our architect and our attorney. And basically, these projects that we're doing have minimal or no environmental impact. So it's different level depending on what the environmental impacts are, and we are at the lower level because there's minimal or none for environmental impact on these.
And that seeker is for the $100,000 capital outlay project,
Correct.
both this year's current school year and next school year's. So we're good. Any questions for Kevin on either of those? So under the first one, on a motion by, I need a motion for the serial bond and legal ad.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Oh, we gotta do roll call, sorry.
Stop the roll call. Vince?
Yes.
Crystal?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
And Jeff?
Yes.
Thank you.
And then we'll skip right to the seeker, which is a little bit farther down, and then we'll go back and do transportation and building grounds reports, but we'll do the motion since Kevin just spoke to it. Need a motion to approve the secra resolution for the lockdown and LED lighting, $100,000 capital outlay projects.
So moved.
Thank you, Mike. Can you need a second? Thanks. Any further discussion on that? And that'll be a roll call.
Yep. Jeff?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Vince?
Yes.
Crystal?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you want another?
Oh, Mike? Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Save the best for last.
Yes, I did.
You want to take it? We're
Went
at
on the next page, sorry.
we're at a
You all set?
we're at a
Okay.
transportation.
Okay,
Yep.
so without any questions for the treasurer's report, we'll move to transportation. Dr. Steele?
We finished our DOT cycle with 97.7% passing grade, which is great. You can read the trip report there again for this month. The big news, again, we've been talking about a couple of internal employees that are training to be drivers. Looks like they're both on track to be drivers for the upcoming school year. Special note, we have a 19-year employee, Shelley Hayes, who is retiring. She's been in our district for 19 years, and she'll be retiring on April 16th. She's been one of our senior drivers. We talked about a couple of buses out of commission last month. All three of those have been fixed or back in rotation. And there's a quick word there on a couple of buses that are getting fixed as we speak. And then there's your fuel prices on the bottom.
Any questions for Brian? Okay. Before we end that, congratulations to Shelley with 19 years of dedication. That's outstanding. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. Without any questions, that moves us to buildings and grounds. Mrs. Martin?
So the big news, of course, is the capital project passed, so that was good. I think there were around just over 450 votes, so thank you to everybody that came out and voted. And the other, I guess, the next step, some of which we already talked about tonight, is kind of the groundwork, getting ready to plan for construction. So I think we have another meeting, I think it's the end of April, right?
Correct, yeah.
The next meeting, and we'll meet with the
Architect and
and-
construction services.
Yep.
Yep.
and discuss plans for going forward. So
Yep.
it's exciting.
Now, I'll just go back to the timeline real quick. So the vote is really one of the first steps. Now there's an awful lot of work to be done by the architect for the planning and the drawings that have to go to the state. Likely that'll take till November for that to be ready as a packet to be submitted, and then we wait for state approval, and we're hopeful for that process to go quickly. Does not always go quickly, because we were really hoping to do some construction next summer. That will depend on how long the state takes to approve the project once they receive our package. So there's the time frame.
Okay, any questions? Okay, that moves us to policy. Mrs. Lancer?
Okay, so we only have things on here pretty much for second reads that need approval. We have a policy committee meeting for this month tomorrow. So I'm actually going to pass it over to Mr. DiCaprio to talk about
Sure.
the things that need approval.
Yep. So it's just a handful of second reads that come out of our annual policy audit. As a reminder, we had 16 policies for review. 5 of them we have already taken care of in the past. 6 of them you're going to do a second read on tonight. There's a handful that we will talk about in policy committee tomorrow, and a couple more that are still going to come in May and June. So a little bit as we go. The 6 for second read tonight are the same ones you heard last month. So 5140 comes out of Kevin's world, comes out of Mr. Palensi's world. There was a paragraph in that policy that had to do with the requirement that districts report each building's finances to the states. That law expired. That paragraph gets removed. 6130 changes the naming conventions from APPR to APPR and evaluations. It makes it more generic in the same way that state ed is talking about teacher and educator evaluations. 7350 is, we've already talked about this one in the past. It has to do with the timeout rooms in the special education world. It also requires us to post this policy on our website when it's adopted. So that one we've already covered. It has to do with restraints and reporting and contacting the families, things like that. It takes all of the language out of 7618, so 7618 is one of them that's there for deletion. 7512 has to do with making sure students have been screened for lead. The point of clarification people asked for last month was, are we doing the lead screening ourselves? No, we're not doing any blood draws. It's really an affirmation, yes or no, they've been screened for lead as they come in as new students. And then the last one is also from the special ed world. New York City has an incredible backlog of parents requesting impartial hearings for students, for their children who they want to have services. This policy is, in my mind, directly related to that backlog in New York City. And it says that if the district hasn't requested an impartial hearing officer within a little more than 6 months, that they can hit the easy button and cut the line, basically. Just as reference, I've been involved in one here in my time in 5 years, and we requested that in the same week. It was within a day or two that we got the request that we went into the portal and made that request for a hearing officer. So it's, in my time, it hasn't been an issue. That's what that policy comes from. So those are your 6 for second read tonight.
Thank you.
Questions? Sorry, questions? All right, exciting stuff.
Any continuation on anything else on there? Good?
Nope. No.
So we just need a motion to approve, and I'm just going to condense them all into one motion. We need a motion to approve on second reads for approvals, 5140, 6130, 7350, 7618, which moved to 7350, 7512, 7670. Do we have a motion? Seconded by?
Second.
Crystal, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? That carries. Okay, perfect. And next is advocacy.
So Heidi's running a little late because she's at the Spanish trip meeting, getting all the information about that to send one of the kids over to Spain next year. So good for her. Advocacy PR, our work has continued. It's surrounded around budget. We also attended the Anarch Area School Boards Association meeting last 2 weeks ago. It would have been. It was a good meeting. Crystal pinch hit it for Heidi that evening because she had something going on. I don't know if you want to speak to that meeting at all.
Yeah. I can
You
do
took a
that.
lot of notes.
I did take a lot of notes. Yeah, it was a really good meeting. Was it Granville that was the entertainment?
It was, yes,
Yeah,
yep,
they
correct.
did an awesome job, so that's always good. Oh, it's right here, wonderful.
Maybe you want to tell them who the speakers
Yeah,
are.
they talked a little bit about just like, most of it was related to budget. There were some things that they were fairly confident or optimistic anyway, like the safe harmless provision that will be restored potentially, so more about that kind of foundation aid stuff. Unfortunately, they didn't
feel that, the BOCES aidable salary threshold was likely to change, unfortunately. Also, universal school meals they didn't think was likely to be a thing for everybody. We do have universal school meals at our district, but certainly had hoped the rest of the state would also get that opportunity, but it doesn't look like that's going to make it this year. And they also had said that likely there will be some review or study of foundation aid coming this year. and kind of looking at what changes there might be in the future. So I think that was most of the
Yep.
significant things that I took from it.
And they had a good panel.
Yep.
They had folks from NISCUS, New York State Council of School Superintendents, folks from New York State School Board Association, and actually both of them used to work inside of state government, so they know how the budget process works, and are very knowledgeable. That's the second, actually that's the third year we've had those speakers come to the March ASBA meeting. It's worth it if you haven't gotten to listen to those people. I did miss seeing my good friend Bob Lowry. He's a very brilliant person, very monotone person, but he cracks a few jokes here and there. That guy knows everything there is to know about school budgets and finance. It's incredible to listen to him talk. So it was a great panel, and thank you. It was a good dinner.
Yeah, it was a great dinner.
Good dinner too.
Any questions for Mr. Ward? Thank you, Principal. Mr. Ward?
Next ASBA meeting is the one where they do the student recognition. We haven't received the invite for that yet.
Yeah, I'll send that one to get it.
That one's usually really well attended. If you haven't been to one, that's a really nice night to watch students be recognized for the great things they do. Every district is allowed to nominate one student who's recognized. It's nice to fill a table and sit with the student and their parents. It's a really nice night. If you get a chance to do one sometime in your board career, please take advantage of that. No, I'm not, sorry.
No, you're up next.
Without any questions, that concludes our committee updates. Now we turn over to Mr. Ward for the superintendent's report.
Yep, so the bullet's not on there, likely because I forgot to put it on there, but I just want to say kudos to the drama program and the performance they put on. If you got to see one of the shows, you saw a really nice show. I was able to do the Sunday show, and unfortunately lost the Saturday show, but we waited as long as we could possibly wait before we made that call. But it was the right call, the way the weather kept coming and coming and coming. So if you didn't get to see it, boy, they did an awesome job. So great job to them, or congratulations to them. School calendar update, going back to the script. I have a recommendation for a motion to amend the school calendar to make Friday, May 24th and Tuesday, May 28th school holidays. That means that the buildings would be closed. So you have that in there. I know people were asking about different days. We did not have any closures. We did not have any delays for weather this year. We had one day where we did not have students, but we had staff due to our internet difficulties. So we do have those snow days, and I still have a day to use if there's an emergency that occurs after those. Those resolutions are written so that if we have X number of snow days, when the date comes, that becomes a school holiday. And if we have X number by the next day, that becomes a school holiday. So if something happens between now and then, those holidays are obviously erased. So if the board accepts that recommendation and makes that motion tonight, we would let our faculty and staff and all employees know that those are going to be school holidays. However, please don't plan something that you can't take back in case we have an emergency that makes it so we have to close school between now and then. Moving down to solar eclipse, we had school yesterday. We had no incidences from the solar eclipse. From transportation, I had to go over to the bus garage yesterday and called over and spoke this morning. I saw Aaron yesterday. I saw Lori Beadleston, or I spoke to Lori this morning. We had kids here. We had several parents come to pick up their kids to experience the eclipse with them, which was exactly what we said. If you wanted to do, please do so. But we did provide services to a great majority of our 2,200 students who count on us for a lot of things after being off for 11 days on break. And thanks to the principals for putting up with me changing my mind about a few little things here and there, and maybe forgetting to give one message to them at one point. They made it happen for our kids. Capital project vote, echo the thank you. There's the numbers, 258 yes, 196 no. I thank everybody who came out and let us know how they felt about the project, and obviously we're moving forward and thankful for that, and really serious about doing great things for kids, and being respectful to the taxpayers and the money that we're gonna put forward, and getting the most for our dollars when construction time comes. And Kevin can attest that and so can Mike at that table, I'm a fairly demanding person, that I want things to go the right way because it's a big responsibility, and I don't take it lightly whatsoever. The RAM clinic, the remote area medical clinic, I had spoken about that over a year ago. They came out, they were looking for a spot in Washington County to do it. They had done one at the fairgrounds. They were looking for maybe a better site that would help them provide more services to more people. Dave McKeegan and his staff was great. Jim Murray had to have some of his staff here in the kitchens as well because they were feeding people, and we have to have our staff here when folks are using our kitchen. They did over 200 dental patients, over 70 vision patients, and over 25 medical patients through the 2-day clinic. So if I add that up, what's that, 295 folks received medical, dental, or vision over that 2-day clinic. So a great use of our facilities for our community and the surrounding community to come and get some of those services. All free, no ID needed, no insurance needed. And they said the total value of the clinic for the people was between $150,000 to $200,000 in the services that were given away to folks. And they had a local food bank that was here providing the free food to people as they were coming to get services as well. So thanks to the board for supporting having that come into our community. Progress towards tenure, the principals are here. That's going to happen this evening. And I already did the drama clubs. I wanted to do them first because it's just so impactful. Hearing the kids perform that way, it brings tears to my eyes, but I'm a person who cries sometimes. But it's just fantastic. So the principals will be here. They'll do our year 1 and 2 teachers tonight in a brief report to the board in executive session. And we also have an update on negotiations tonight that's going to happen for the board. And that's what I have.
We do have 2 resolutions.
Yep.
Can I merge them?
Those are 2 separate ones, yeah.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Hudson Falls Central School District makes a motion to approve a school holiday on May 24th, 2024 due to the remaining balance of snow days, pending at least 3 snow days being available as of that date. We have a motion.
So moved.
Crystal? Amanda? Ken? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who was it?
Opposed? It was
Mike.
Mike. Oh, it sounded like Tim.
I can throw my voice everywhere.
Even Kelly is saying it. That was Tim.
I'll do my Kelly impression.
Well, I just called her Crystal. It's not good. Okay, the second one.
Did they vote on the first one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
The second one, be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Hudson Falls Central School District makes a motion to approve a school holiday on May 28th, 2024, due to the remaining balance of snow days, pending at least 2 snow days being available as of that date. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Crystal, seconded by Maggie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Perfect.
Thank you.
Any public comments? Okay. So we do have a need for executive sessions to discuss tenure updates as well as negotiations. We do not have a need to enter back into regular session, so whoever's in the public, nobody, you can come back, but you don't have to. Okay, we need a motion to enter executive session.
So moved.
Crystal? Second. Mike? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good, curious. Perfect.
Is it 7:06?